What if the sun were the size of a basketball? Let's imagine, for a moment, that one morning you wake up, open your curtains, and the sun is just gone. Not exploded, not turned off, just replaced by a basketball. A perfectly ordinary, orange, slightly scuffed basketball floating 150 million kilometers away, exactly where the sun used to be. Still glowing faintly, like a tired light bulb, but definitely not exploding with nuclear fire anymore. Now, what would actually happen? First of all, the new basketball's sun would have a radius of about 12 centimeters. That's roughly a 1 to 100,000,000 ratio compared to the real sun. Since volume is proportional to the cube of the radius, that means the basketball's sun would have about 1 octillionth of the sun's actual volume. But wait, that's not the scary part. The real sun makes up 99.8% of the mass of our solar system. Shrinking it to the size of a basketball doesn't just make it small, it also makes it effectively massless. That means the gravitational anchor keeping Earth in orbit? Completely gone. The moment our sun becomes a basketball, Earth is no longer bound to it. We'd immediately begin flying off in a straight line through space, at our current orbital velocity of about 30 kilometers per second, that's 108,000 kilometers per hour. At that speed, we'd leave the solar system entirely in a few tens of thousands of years, heading into the dark between the stars like a lonely rock on autopilot. But that's still not the scary part. You might think, okay, we've got a little time before anything happens. But no, light from the sun takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth. That means, for over 8 minutes after the sun turns into a basketball, everything on Earth still looks completely normal. Birds chirping. Skies blue. Coffee brewing. Then, without warning, night. No sunset, no warning glow. Just instant black. And it's not like a cloudy day or even a full moon night. It's complete cosmic darkness. The stars come out instantly. And the temperature? It plummets. Within a week, average global temperatures drop to -20 degrees Celsius. Within a year, they're below -70 degrees Celsius. Most plant life dies within days, photosynthesis halts, and the food chain starts breaking. The oceans begin to freeze from the top down, forming thick sheets of ice that slowly crawl deeper each year. Eventually, only geothermal vents at the bottom of the oceans might keep pockets of microbial life alive. Humanity, if it's prepared, could huddle in underground bunkers powered by nuclear reactors, for a while. But the surface of Earth becomes an icy tomb. Mars becomes warm by comparison. But what about that basketball itself? Assuming it's somehow suspended in space, and glowing, it would shine with the brightness of a small campfire, if that campfire were 150 million kilometers away. In other words, it would be completely invisible to the naked eye from Earth. Even a telescope would struggle. The only reason we'd even know it's there is because we watched it happen, or we sent something out to take a closer look. And of course, since the sun is now the weight of a basketball, about 600 grams, its gravitational pull is useless. Every planet in the solar system would begin drifting off in a straight line, just like Earth. The solar system would effectively dissolve into chaos. Moons would break away from their planets, collisions might occur over millennia, and eventually, silence. A completely dismantled planetary system, still shaped by the sun's ghostly memory, but now spinning apart into the void. But here's a fun twist, you might wonder, could we just reignite the sun somehow? The answer, absolutely not. The sun isn't on because someone lit a fire. It's on because its enormous mass crushes hydrogen atoms together with so much pressure that they fuse, releasing energy. That process, called nuclear fusion, only happens when you have enough mass, 333,000 Earths worth of it. So unless we can reassemble the entire solar mass and compact it back together, there's no restarting it. You can't light a campfire using a basketball. Not even a hot one. And what happens to the basketball? Well, nothing. It just floats. It doesn't have enough mass to pull anything toward it, and it doesn't burn, because there's nothing to fuel it. Over time, maybe it drifts a bit, pushed by radiation pressure or the occasional solar wind that's still traveling through space from the former sun. But eventually, it just becomes another piece of cosmic junk. A weird, lonely relic of a solar system that used to be. Meanwhile, out in the icy dark, humanity either freezes, or adapts. Maybe we build space habitats powered by fusion reactors. Maybe we colonize Europa or Titan and learn to survive without starlight. Or maybe, most likely, we don't make it. The only witnesses left are the microbes by the hydrothermal vents and the occasional alien passing through, wondering why there's a basketball floating in interstellar space. So, to answer the question, if the sun were the size of a basketball, we wouldn't just be a little chilly. We'd be dead. Pretty quickly. But hey, at least sunsets would be a lot easier to look at. Subscribe for more interesting